Tonight on News 5 Live, before you even walk through your front door, danger could already be waiting. A young man gunned down just steps from his home in Belize City. And this morning, another targeted in broad daylight on his way to work. Then, heartbreak at a primary school in Ladyville, where burglars didn't just steal money, they shattered months of savings and dreams for a classroom of young children. Plus, the cost of getting around is climbing. Fuel prices pushing dollar van fares higher and squeezing everyday commuters. And a birthday surprise turns into a sticker shock. One Belizean man forced to pay more than $200 just to collect a simple card from his mother abroad. Those stories and much more starts right now.
Just cigarettes, vapes, hookahs, cigars, and other tobacco products all release harmful smoke and toxic chemicals. When you smoke or vape, that cloud doesn't just disappear. It becomes second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke that others breathe in. This smoke can cause cancers, diabetes, lung disease, and heart problems. It can kill anyone exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, step outside, far from others. We all deserve to breathe clean air.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, May 25th. I am Sabrina Daly. A brazen weekend shooting in Belize City has left a young man injured and his family shaken. It happened Friday night in the Jane Usher area, just as 20-year-old Alonso Myers was arriving home. Moments after stepping into his gated yard, two men appeared, one of them opening fire from the street, shooting over the gate. Surveillance footage captures the terrifying moment Myers is hit and falls to the ground before struggling to get back up and run for cover as the gunmen flee. Tonight, police are investigating what led to this attack and trying to determine who wanted him hurt and why.
Police are investigating a shooting incident that resulted in the injury of 20-year-old Alonso Myers of Belize City. The investigation commenced on Friday, 22nd May at around 11 o'clock p.m. when officers on patrol in the Jane Usher Boulevard area were alerted to the sounds of shots being fired, and upon their inquiry, they were advised that an injured Mr. Myers was transported to the hospital for medical attention. What the investigation has so far revealed is that Myers had entered his yard and was accosted by two male persons, one of who fired several shots, resulted in his injury. No suspect has been identified, nor has a motive been established in this ongoing investigation. However, police are reviewing a number of video footage to see how they can advance the investigation.
Police say there is no information to indicate a connection between the Myers shooting and the murder of Lamar Garnett on the 15th of May in the same area. Police have detained one person and are seeking two others in connection with a shooting incident this morning on Cleghorn Street in Belize City. Police say Bermudian Landing resident Malik Sutherland was on his way to work when an SUV pulled up beside him and a passenger opened fire. Sutherland was hit and rushed to the hospital for treatment.
Police have detained one male person and are seeking two others as a part of an ongoing investigation into a shooting incident which resulted in the injury of 25-year-old Malik Sutherland of Bermudian Landing Village. The investigation commenced at around 6:25 a.m. on 25th May 2026 when reports were received of shots being fired on Clegon Street, Belize City. What we have gathered so far in the course of this ongoing investigation is that Mr. Sutherland was on his way to his place of employment when he was accosted by an individual who was on board an SUV, and that individual fired several shots, resulted in the injury of Mr. Sutherland. As stated, one person has been detained and 2 others are being sought. A motive is being explored, however, that will be disclosed when it becomes necessary to do so.
Smith says Sutherland was not known to police. Tonight, serious questions are being raised about what's happening behind closed doors in Belize's police department. More than $21,000, cash tied to a 2023 court case, has gone missing from the Crimes Investigations Branch evidence room in Belmopan. The alarming discovery came during an internal audit this week, and investigators say the money simply vanished. No signatures, no records, no paper trail to show who took it or when. It's the latest in a string of troubling incidents involving missing evidence, and tonight, police are under pressure to explain how something like this could happen.
As it relates to that inquiry, I can confirm that as a part of the auditing that was done at the CIB, discovery was made that some sums of money was unaccounted for, and that is the matter of an ongoing investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. The members of the Professional Standards Branch are reviewing the matter. A number of statements have been recorded, as the investigation continues.
Do we know what date exactly it was noticed that it went missing?
I believe it was sometime earlier this year. It was a sum of money that was seized as a part of an investigation that dates back to 2023.
Smith says police will provide further information as the investigation continues. And from missing money at the Belize Police Department to over $160,000 unaccounted for at the Ministry of Immigration. The police department says it is now investigating the matter to determine whether any criminal charges can be levied against anyone. But first, it must collect all the necessary documents and statements. ASP Smith told us more.
As it relates to immigration, what I've been advised is that an official statement has been given in relation to the missing documents, nationality documents, and as it relates to the missing sums of money, arrangements are being made to record a thorough statement in relation to that report. They have informed us of certain things, however, a thorough statement needs to be recorded with particular and specific information, and that is what the investigators and those persons are working on, to get all the documents in order so that when the report is given, it is comprehensive.
As we reported, CEO in the ministry, Tanya Santos, has informed News 5 that an in-depth audit will be conducted to determine the extent of the crime. A frightening encounter in Corozal is raising concerns about child safety. Near Santa Rita Park, a mother says 2 men in a van harassed her teenage daughter and niece, alleging one even tried to place an unknown substance near a child's face. She went live on social media, accusing a former Gilhari 7 member of being involved in what she describes as an attempted abduction. But police say no formal report has been filed. Meanwhile, the band has distanced itself, saying the man is no longer affiliated and has been dealing with mental health challenges, while offering apologies to the family.
I spoke with Commander Corozal Police Formation, Mr. Mendez, and his instruction to me was that no formal report was made in terms of a statement being given by the female and the children in question. He did in fact admit that she went there on the day in question. However, I believe she was still overcome with emotion, so they were not able to document anything. He told me that they have since been making efforts to locate the female and the children with a view to recording the statements and taking necessary actions.
So I heard one of the police, and one of the police said, I think we don't know the who. So I didn't make no questions. Then from there, what took place? They said, wait, we'll make the patrol come to make we go to the park. So now, when the patrol reached, one of the officers come down and start write down again what happened. Good. So from there, what we did, the police said that right now they will send a patrol to right there at Santa Rita so that they can find evidence of what happened, what transpired to happen. Well, supposedly nobody at Santa Rita has cameras, but let me tell you that the police didn't even reach at the park. Because when I went to the park, right behind of them, they take another road, and I went to the park. So I called 911, and the same police that attend to us was there. So one of them picked up the phone, and they answer, right? And I told them, I'm here at the park. Where is the mobile? The mobile not here. Where is the mobile? The police said, yes, the mobile is there. No, how will you tell me the mobile is there and there is no mobile? Okay, so after that, I said, you know what? I don't see this, not it make no sense, and I know they get no help from our own police officers.
Mother of the alleged perpetrator claims that she has been contacted by members of the Gilhari 7 with an apology. However, is still seeking justice for the incident. After the break, a court showdown over Coney Drive property. Officials cross the line, but who really wins? The land stays titled, Gwen's kitchen stays open, and the fight might not be over.
For 82 years, Holy Redeemer Credit Union has been making a difference in people's lives. Member owners, you are invited to attend the Holy Redeemer Credit Union 82nd Annual General Meeting. Join us on Saturday, May 30th at 2 p.m. sharp at the Belize Civic Center. Be present for your business meeting and hear important reports about the continued growth and strength of your credit union. Holy Redeemer Credit Union proudly boasts over 67,000 member owners, $876.1 million in total assets, $729.5 million in total savings, $146.6 million in total equity, and $31.7 million in total surplus. And this year, an impressive $26.7 million will be returned to member owners through dividends and rebates. Remember, to enter the venue, you must present your HRCU passbook and a valid ID. See you at the 82nd AGM of HRCU, Saturday, May 30th, 2 p.m. sharp at the Civic Center. Holy Redeemer Credit Union, making a difference in people's lives. Save, it will make you rich someday.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Get ready. The Belize Game Changers Awards, funded by the European Union, is here, celebrating the bold ideas, big hearts, and everyday Belizeans doing extraordinary things. Join us as we celebrate the stories, the impact, and the energy behind Belize's Game Changers. Catch the premiere on Channel 5, Wednesday, May 27 at 8:30 p.m. You can also watch online on the European Union in Belize's Facebook page at 9:30 p.m. or tune in to TNC on Friday, May 29 at 7 p.m. Belize Game Changers Awards. Don't just hear about the change, watch it happen.
Ready, Dangriga? Something big is coming your way. Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
With everything going on in a day, it's easy to overlook a renewal date. That's why Home Protector Insurance sends a simple reminder to help keep you on track. Home Protector Insurance, if it's worth something, insure it.
Prepare for the sweltering heat with a Rheem AC unit to keep you and your family cool and cozy. Get the recommended BTU for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save some much-needed cash with an inverter unit, which provides superior energy efficiency. When the heat is on, stay cool with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Kayo, we have exciting news for you. RFNG Life Insurance is now officially in your town. Now, you can visit our office to pay your life insurance premiums or speak to our dedicated agent, Nayeli, about securing your future with the right coverage.
Hi, my name is Mayeli Hoy, your designated agent here at RFNG Life in the Cayo District. I'm here to help you explore your options, answer your questions, and find the perfect policy for you and your loved ones.
Whether you're looking for life insurance, critical illness coverage, or future saving plans, we've got you covered. Take the first step towards securing a stable and prosperous financial future for you and your family. RFNG Life Insurance, now in Cayo. Visit us today or call to schedule an appointment. Your future starts here.
Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with Game Changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game Changers are bringing this to life. Game Changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the Game Changers.
Focus is not for us to collect it while it arrives at shore.
Arsenic, copper, cobalt, cadmium, zinc, iron, mercury, and a bunch of them. So with this report, we are doing an economic impact of sargassum to the tourism sector.
The coordination is really taken at a national scope, and we do this through that sargassum task force.
There have been actions that have been taken, and we will continue to take those actions towards mitigating sargassum collection and the landing of sargassum. We have identified it as a national priority.
Welcome to Belize Travel Beat, the pulse of Belizean tourism.
Our story was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations, still growing, still giving, still just getting started after 185 years.
All right, you're all set. I'll swap out the water inlet valve and everything is running normally.
Amazing. So what will be the cost?
Oh, for you? There's no cost.
No cost? I'm flattered, but I'm actually married.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's actually part of our 1-year warranty policy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Don't worry, it happens all the time.
Really?
No.
Belize's only full-service GE USA dealer. Full service, full warranty, full selection. GE Appliances. Good things for life. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
At Ladyville Evangelical Primary School, young students are grappling with a loss that goes far beyond stolen cash. Over the weekend, burglars broke in, tearing through classrooms and leaving behind a trail of damage. But for one group in particular, the impact cuts especially deep. Inside the Infant 2 Miller classroom, thieves didn't just take belongings, they wiped out months of hard work, savings, and anticipation. For these little ones, every coin mattered, earned through discipline and sacrifice, all leading up to something they had been excitedly working toward. By Monday morning, that excitement had been replaced with confusion and devastation. Parents and teachers now face the difficult task of explaining how something like this could happen, while trying to rebuild not just what was lost, but the children's sense of security. News 5's Shane Williams takes us inside the classroom where the smallest victims are feeling the biggest blow.
Infant 2 students at Ladyville Evangelical Primary School came face to face today with something no child should have to understand: loss. Not just of money, but of trust and security. When staff responded to a call at the school on Sunday, it didn't take long to see something was wrong. Classrooms had been broken into, belongings scattered, and for these little learners, the damage hit far deeper than anything that can be easily replaced. Inside the Infant 2 Miller classroom, the damage became especially painful. In one corner, dozens of piggy banks lay shattered, smashed open, and emptied. These weren't just toys. The children made them by hand, using them to save and learn about money, lesson by lesson, coin by coin.
The children had piggy banks. That's part of the financial literacy. And from January, they have been saving their coins. And at the end of the school year, which is June, they were going to open the pig banks and find out what was there, the amount, and do something out of it. And it was really hard. And she told me that she didn't have any words how to express this situation to her infant 2 students. So I was the one that wrote a text message for her to please share it in the class WhatsApp. And this morning, everybody here is sad.
Since January, the students had been slowly filling them with coins and small savings, learning the value of patience, discipline, and responsibility. The plan was simple: wait until the end of June, then break open the piggy banks together and celebrate months of saving and hard work. But that moment was stolen. Principal Eliachi says having to explain what happened to both parents and students was nothing short of gut-wrenching.
Like today we can function. Our mind is right there in what had happened. In particular, because it's our infant students, we're teaching them how to save money. And now just imagine how to explain to them that the money is not there. Because of someone, the money is lost. So we don't want the children to change the mentality of saving. We want them to continue saving so that at the end of the year they can have something out of it.
Amid the disappointment, the community has already begun stepping forward to help rebuild what was lost. Peacework Belize founder Dr. Carol Bob, who has been promoting financial literacy in Belizean schools, has agreed to replace piggy banks for all 28 students affected. Alobe Young of the Belize Taiwan Alumni Society says help is already underway, with efforts underway to raise funds and help the children start saving again. As police continue their search for those responsible, the outpouring of support is a powerful reminder. While one cruel act can take a lot, community and kindness can still teach the greater lesson. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Last week, we showed you a risky routine playing out daily outside schools. Children riding on motorcycles, often without helmets, as parents rush to beat the afternoon traffic. The story struck a nerve, drawing concern from viewers, educators, and safety advocates who say it's becoming all too common and dangerous. Now, veteran traffic advocate Philip Fada Henry is sounding the alarm, calling for tougher enforcement and possibly new laws before tragedy strikes.
Every afternoon, just outside Belize City schools, the same dangerous scene plays out repeatedly. Small children balancing on motorcycles, squeezed between adults, school bags hanging off handlebars, and in many cases, no helmets in sight. It is a reality that traffic safety advocate Philip Fada Henry says has become one of the most troubling issues on Belize's streets today.
So the motorcycle, for one, who we see speeding around the city and have a lot of children, picking up children from school, and parents are sending run man for their children at school. You are sentencing your children to death when you are sending these motorcycle drivers all over the place to pick up your child at the age of 7 and 8 years old, and these guys are speeding and overtaking cars.
For more than 2 decades, Henry has spent his time visiting schools across Belize City, teaching children how to safely navigate traffic and practice proper pedestrian safety. And concern over the issue is not only coming from road safety advocates. Schools themselves are also grappling with the danger. We visited Holy Redeemer Primary School, where administrators told News 5 that the issue remains one of grave concern for the institution, especially after a September 3, 2024 incident that left one of their students seriously injured while being picked up on a motorcycle by his father. Since then, administrators say they have repeatedly stressed to parents the importance of ensuring children are picked up safely and transported properly. Still, every afternoon, motorcycles carrying multiple children continue to line the streets outside schools across the city. Henry believes enforcement officers need to crack down harder on unsafe practices and says Belize may even need stronger legislation, specifically aimed at protecting children being transported on motorcycles, especially by run-man services.
I do believe that the transport department need to get themselves together, and the CEO and also the minister need to get down to the books and let us implement some rules and regulation to bring these people to justice, because these people are not only putting your child and my child in the danger of the open roads and the traffic of today, they are also doing it to their own children.
For hundreds of parents, motorcycles are affordable and convenient. But should convenience come at the expense of a child's safety? Is it time for more strict regulations? Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
A bike ride turns deadly on Bullet Tree Road. 49-year-old Aria Ramos loses her life after a motorcycle spins out of control. Now the driver faces possible charges as police dig deeper into what went wrong. ASP Stacey Smith has the details.
Police have issued 32-year-old Melvin Kishan of Bullet Tree Fall Village with a notice of intended prosecution as a part of an ongoing investigation into a traffic accident which claimed the life of 49-year-old Aria Ramos of Bullet Tree Falls Village. The investigation commenced on Friday, 22nd May, just after 10 o'clock p.m. when police responded to reports of a traffic accident in Santa Familia Village. The responding officers reported that upon their arrival, they observed Kishan, who was seated on the road and had some minor injuries and abrasion to the face and body, and at the time he was holding a female, later identified as Ramos, who was complaining of pain to the chest. BERT personnel arrived shortly thereafter and transported Ms. Ramos for medical attention. However, she succumbed to the injuries that she sustained some few hours later. What we have been able to gather so far in the course of the investigation is that both Kishan and Ramos were on board a Lifan brand motorcycle, Kishan being the driver, when upon reaching that area, Mr. Kishan lost control of the vehicle, the motorcycle, and veered off-road, resulting in the injuries reported.
Was Kishan under the influence of alcohol?
That has not been established. However, the responding officers reported that they in fact smelt the aroma of alcohol, and that was one of the reasons why a sample was requested from him. However, he refused to comply.
Were they wearing helmets?
I believe so.
In cases one person refused to comply, what comes after that?
Well, it's an offense to refuse. As I said, he was served with a notice of intended prosecution. There are a litany of charges that are being considered at this point in time. However, there are certain processes that have to be taken before we reach that point.
Kishan is reportedly in stable condition. A legal fight over a narrow strip of land in Belize City has turned into a bigger conversation about property rights and who really gets a say. The Court of Appeal has ruled that the Belize City Council and the Ministry of Natural Resources overstepped when they leased and sold part of a road reserve along Coney Drive, land that sits in front of Ethel Thompson's property. Thompson argued the deal blocked her access to the main road, and the court agreed, finding that her rights as a property owner were affected and even breached in the process. But while the ruling calls out the actions of the council and the ministry as unlawful, it stops short of undoing the sale. The land title stays put, and so does Gwen's Kitchen, the business now operating on the site. Attorney Andrew Bennett says that, in the end, the decision still works in favor of the restaurant owner, highlighting just how complex this land dispute has become.
The appellant, Ms. Thompson, was partially successful, but the thrust of her appeal was really to seek a remedy which would see the rectification of parcel 5116. That is the land where Gwen's Kitchen is located. It's registered in Ms. Flower's name, and so the court declined to award that remedy. This appeal is very important because what it does, it reaffirms the principles that are established under the Registered Land Act. And that stems from the common law principle that under the Registered Land Act, there are certain things that are guaranteed. If you are a proprietor of a registered land, you are insured by the state that your title is good. What it does as well is the registration of your title. There's a thing called curtain principle. You don't have to look behind the title, right? So in that regard, with the registration of this title in Ms. Flowers' name, that saddled her with constitutional right to property, one which cannot be interfered with unless under what is prescribed by the Act. In the absence of fraud or mistake, a court would not order the rectification of a title.
Tonight, the ruling raises a bigger question. Could it impact other businesses on Coney Drive and kiosk owners on Mahogany Street with similar city agreements? Meanwhile, the court says Thompson deserves compensation from both the Belize City Council and the government and has awarded her partial legal costs. Still ahead, Hossein may be out of office, but he's not out of the loop. Still in the ministry's WhatsApp chats and quietly shaping decisions from the sidelines. But first, here's the weather forecast from the National Met Service.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
To leave everything you've got on this stage. Mark your calendar and get camera ready. Auditions are June 6 and 7 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At a Greater Belize, Leisure Studios and Coney Drive, Belize City. Hey. Selected contestants will enter the KTV Season 8 competition, and the lucky winner will go home with a 10,000 grand prize. This is your moment.
the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Rising fuel prices are hitting Belize's transportation sector hard, and commuters are feeling the impact. On May 4th, new bus fares rolled out nationwide after a dramatic blockade at the Tower Hill Bridge in Orange Walk, forcing emergency talks between bus operators, the Belize Bus Association, the Ministry of Transport, and the Prime Minister's office. The deal brought traffic back to normal, but at a cost. Short bus routes now cost up to 50 cents more, while longer rides have climbed as much as $1. Today in Belize City, dollar van operators shared how they're navigating the rising fuel costs and what it means for the thousands of commuters who rely on them daily. News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
Gas prices are up again, and Belize's transportation industry is taking a hit. Earlier this month, independent bus operators were given the green light to raise fares due to the steady rise in the cost of fuel. Now, dollar vans are following suit, with a $1 increase to adult fares. Belize Dollar Van Taxi Association President Richard Swift explained that effective June 1st, adult fares will rise from $2 to $3.
The reaction from most of the members that we are taking lick out here, due to the high gas every time is going up, and it's sadly that we need to carry up the $2 to $3. No, mainly it's because of the gas fuel that went up.
Currently, a gallon of regular gas costs nearly $15. According to Swift, it's a price drivers are barely able to manage.
How often do you fill up your tank?
Well, every day I put in, like, I used to put in 100, now it's like $150 I have to put a day to sustain, up and down, so I'm up like $50 right now.
Longtime dollar van driver Sheriff Salau says that while he understands that some customers won't be excited about the increase in fares, he hopes they will understand the necessity of the price.
We have been telling them before we started the increments that we are running this thing at a loss, that is going to $3. Many of them complain that maybe they will be working, maybe they will fix their bicycle, they will be using their bicycle to be working. That's what many of them say.
Swift says another issue plaguing dollar van drivers is non-members of the association picking up passengers along the route. He says the association is in discussions with the Belize City Council to manage the issue.
We're trying to have everybody upgrade their van. If you notice, a lot of us are really upgraded. But you have a lot of people that are not part of us just come in with whatever van and they start running, so that we can control. Who can control is the City Council. Like I said, if they come and dialogue with us, it could go smoother. We could try manage with the $2 with these high prices, but if not, then we got to go up.
The association plans to continue discussions to better improve service, to find solutions to cope with the challenges affecting Belize's transportation industry. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The association notes that the fare for children will remain the same. A police officer is wanted after allegedly running a red light in Belize City. The officer has been identified as Special Patrol Officer Luis Pascasio, who previously made headlines in 2024 when he was charged in connection with the aggravated assault of Belizean Olympian Sean Gill. In that earlier case, Pascasio was accused of confronting Gill and pulling a firearm on him during an incident on Orange Street, a matter still believed to be before the court. Superintendent Stacey Smith today confirmed that Pascasio is now wanted by police for assault following this latest incident.
As it relates to the inquiry pertaining to Mr. Pascasio, I spoke with one of the OCs in Eastern Division, and what he just advised me just a short while ago is that yes, in fact, an incident occurred and an investigation was triggered, and that investigation has resulted in charges being prepared for Mr. Pascasio in relation to aggravated assault and wounding as a consequence of a report made by a police officer.
Would you be able to confirm if he was under the influence when that happened?
No, I would not. But I believe the matter was captured on camera because it happened in front of the gas station. That has been viewed, and that is what guided police's action in terms of the charges that have been prepared.
Belize's cattle industry could be on the verge of something much bigger, and the opportunity may be just across the border. Former Agriculture Minister Jose May, a cattle rancher himself, believes the local producers are ready to tap into Mexico's high-end beef market. He points to a successful trial conducted right here in Belize that proved ranchers can produce the kind of premium quality beef that niche buyers in Mexico are looking for. According to May, the demand is already there. The question now is whether Belizean farmers are prepared to scale up and cash in.
This is an experiment by two of our friends, and these guys are pioneers in the cattle industry. Abe Froze, better known as Sereke, he was a member of BLPA, and he continuously pushed and pushed and pushed, right, for this type of experiment and for the cattle industry to boom. Our next colleague, Henry Peters, he owns a small feedlot. And when we were in Tismin, remember they were saying, can I go to Mexico? But I did go to Mexico. I did go to Tismin, to the cattle fairs, to the cattle expo. And we met some people there from Guadalajara. And they were posing to us, why don't you raise some agushi or the other Japanese breeds, right, in Belize, and then you sell them back to me. It's a niche market because that's not a cheap meat. That's like very expensive meat. They were the first to jump on it, right? Because that meat is not cheap meat. That's very, very expensive, right? And so, Mr. Froze himself, he did his AI. He did AI in some of his cows, and the first animals that were born, they raised them, they put them in feedlots, and they invited me last week to go join them to do that cookout, to see the quality and the palatability and so on. Unfortunately, I fell ill. I had to be hospitalized on that day, so I could not go to that cookout. But I did see the photographs and I saw the grill, and I said, oh my goodness, this is a great thing.
May says taking full advantage of Belize's cattle export potential would require the establishment of a state-of-the-art in-country slaughterhouse. 6 months after Jose May stepped away from the Ministry of Agriculture, the questions haven't gone away. They've only grown louder. At the time, his resignation sparked speculation that external pressure may have forced his hand. But Prime Minister John Bersenio quickly shut that down, saying May was dealing with serious health issues and needed back surgery. Fast forward to today, and that explanation is raising eyebrows. May has undergone surgery, but not on his back. Instead, it was a right knee procedure in Guatemala. So how did the story shift from back problems to a knee operation? And what's behind the apparent disconnect? With the timeline now under scrutiny and recent comments from the Prime Minister about May walking with a limp, we went straight to May himself to get some answers.
When I went to Guatemala, both doctors, father and son, they did an evaluation, and they said, you know, your posture is different. You seem to walk humped. you seem to walk to lean on one side and there's a reason for that. So when you walk in that form, you're putting strain on your vertebrae. You're straining your vertebrae to one side. So this could be the reason why you have two herniated discs and a desiccated disc, because you are putting your weight on one side, and that will always give you pain. So you have pain in your hip and your legs. And one of the reasons is because I was probably born bow-legged. The doctor was of the opinion that if you can correct your posture, right? You do surgery, they correct your posture, you do therapy, you could probably live with it, right? With therapy and some painkillers and doing the right things. So that was my hope, right? That it would remain good.
Mai says shortly after the surgery, he began experiencing excruciating pain in the right knee. He was then informed that the second leg was compensating and that additional therapy will correct the issue. Even out of office, Jose Mai isn't exactly out of the picture. 6 months after leaving the Ministry of Agriculture, the former minister says he's still plugged in, literally, remaining in the ministry's WhatsApp group and offering advice behind the scenes. So, is he still quietly shaping decisions? And how does he rate the performance of his successor, Rodwell Ferguson? Mai says he keeps a close eye on development and doesn't hesitate to share his input when it matters.
Minister Rodwell is holding the fort very well. He's doing very well. He has an excellent technical team. And any leader is only as good as the people you surround yourself with, right? We have a chat group, which I'm included, and I would comment on the chat group frequently, or as I see fit, and to give my comments and advice. We don't have any problems, none at all. And so most of the staff respect my position, my views on agriculture. They know I'm an agronomist. They know I worked in so long, I'm a farmer. And people look up to me as someone that is involved, like you said, entrenched in agriculture, and it's in my veins. I can't get it out. I'm sorry. And my son now is also an agronomist, and so it's in us. And whatever I can do to help, I will do. I will help.
Mai says he expects that he will return to the Ministry of Agriculture after at least 8 months in recovery. A Placencia resident is raising concerns after being asked to pay more than $200 Belize in customs clearance fees to retrieve what he says is a simple birthday card sent by his elderly mother in the United States. According to the man, the card was shipped through FedEx at a cost of nearly $300 to ensure it arrived on time. But additional customs clearance fees of over $100 were later demanded. He described the charge as excessive, noting that the item was just a little card in an envelope, and expressed frustration over the possibility of daily storage fees if left unclaimed. He spoke with us over the phone and asked to remain anonymous.
Every year my mother usually sends me a card, and she'll send it through FedEx because it's, I guess, a special day, she thinks, and she wants to make sure I get the card. So I received a message last week saying that the card had arrived, and I believe it was in the airport or through customs there where it came through. Usually I get the card right direct to Placencia, and I just go right into Tropic Air at the airport and pick it up with no fuss. But this time, they send this big, long message on there stating that I need to go and clear up my customs fee, which ended up being $103.19 US. And it's just for like a little birthday card in an envelope. So my mother's already paid like $300 through FedEx to get it here. Now Custom wants me to pay almost $210 Belize for just a birthday card. And then FedEx responded to me saying it's nothing to do with them. It's actually Customs themselves.
The package was reportedly later cleared for release, then pulled back by the Customs Department pending further investigation. While officials have since indicated that the matter has been resolved and the fee has been significantly reduced, questions remain about how and why such high fees were initially applied for a simple greeting card. Coming up, a $2 million boost for Corazon Creek. New classrooms, new opportunities, and a bold push to transform the future of education in the South.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you been in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
What do you do now?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, the blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Join us tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. and open your eyes for another exciting and informative lineup featuring conversations that matter to Belizeans across the country. We begin with an important discussion on raising awareness on child neglect and child protection, alongside the National Committee for Families and Children, highlighting the importance of safeguarding our nation's children and strengthening family support systems, while the Social Security Board celebrates another milestone of service, growth, and community impact. In observance of World Environment Day, we'll discuss the urgent need for environmental responsibility and climate action. And representatives from the Belize City Council will share updates on efforts to remove the relic vehicles and improve the cleanliness and safety of our streets. Don't miss another impactful morning of conversation and community on Open Your Eyes.
This summer, the nation's top young athletes come together for Super Nationals 2026. From June 22nd to June 23rd, Primary School Super Nationals. And from June 29th to July 3rd, High School Super Nationals. 6 districts, 4 sports, 1 stage. Football, basketball, volleyball, kids athletics, and athletics. Belize's future champions competing for pride, glory, and the chance to be seen. This is more than a tournament. This is the future of Belizean sports. Super Nationals 2026, where champions ride.
Tonight, former Minister Elvin Penner finds himself back in the spotlight, this time under police investigation. Authorities say he allegedly entered a restricted explosives destruction site at Baldy Beacon and tried to take materials from an active operation. The Ministry of National Defense has now made it official, filing a report, and police are moving ahead with their probe into what exactly happened.
As it relates to the inquiry in relation to Mr. Penner, I can confirm that the department has received a report and 2 statements, and those are being reviewed in light of the Dangerous Goods Act.
What kind of criminal charges can be brought against Mr. Penner for what he did?
As I stated, the statements have been received and they are being reviewed in relation to the Dangerous Goods Act. I am not able to say at this point in time until investigators review the statement and the act to see if the elements of any of the offenses are there.
Penner maintains that he did nothing wrong and simply thought the components he picked up were abandoned. After days of concern from residents and landowners in the Baldy Beacon area following a wildfire sparked during a Belize Defense Force exercise to destroy unexploded ordnances, the BDF says it is now strengthening communication with those affected. Commandant Brigadier General Anthony Velasquez says he personally met with representatives of the landowners on Friday, where both sides discussed the damage, the dangers posed by unexploded military devices, and the need for faster coordination moving forward. The BDF says while the destruction exercises were carried out for public safety, it recognizes the importance of keeping nearby residents better informed and involved. Here's more from the General.
Friday, I was there at Baldy Beacon and I met with a representative of the landowners in the area, and we had a very, very good discussion about moving forward and explaining our position to them and their position to us. And the feedback that I got was that everyone, the landowners, were grateful that we were there destroying the unexploded devices that were found, that were a danger to their children and to their family and to themselves. So BDF found many of these items, and some of these people reported it, and we removed it from the area, and then we were destroying it. So we were doing all this destruction for the greater good of the general public. We have developed some methods of communicating better with the landowners. Since Friday. Okay. We have also been communicating, but we have established a greater and easier method of communication. And we ask them to, anytime they find any unexploded device, please inform us, and we will give them our contacts, and we will make some flyers and give it out to them, so that the communication is there 100% and steady. So we take it very seriously that any unexploded devices that are found, that they should report it to the Belize Defense Force, and we will send our team out to either destroy it in place or remove it and destroy it at a later date.
Brigadier General Velasquez says while he understands the criticism on the choice to conduct the exercise during the dry season, The roads to the area are extremely treacherous during the wet season, and transporting dated unexploded devices at such time would be extremely dangerous. The Defense Ministry insists there was no confusion about the BDF's live destruction exercises at Baldy Beacon, pointing to warnings and soldiers on the ground. But that claim comes under scrutiny after former Minister Elvin Penner walked into the zone and removed explosive material, an act officials say endangered lives. Our footage, however, showed just how easily the public could access the area. Now the government says it's taking no chances, moving to secure permanent control of the military training lands to avoid future accidents.
The military were simply conducting what I don't think anyone would complain about, destroying these explosives. I mean, you saw how we lost a life, sadly, because of it. This is part of the overall effort to destroy that. You know, so I'm not sure how anyone would in their right mind actually go around there and try to interfere with that work.
It's a huge area. It's several kilometers, miles wide. So there's no fence around the area at all. There's access by some minor roads and by other crossing hills and valleys. So it's not an area that is fenced off, anything like that, right? So people can access the area. However, during exercises, we put up warning flags and we deliver NOTAMs so that people know that we're conducting exercise in the area. And also, during the exercise, we have sentries out. So there's no reason why Mr. Penner didn't know that we were there conducting these exercises.
The BDF now is in the process of acquiring land so that they can, in the future, don't have to deal with this issue of whichever government come in or whichever ministers come in, they can arbitrarily get access to their lands. All right? I mean, the military needs its training grounds. We have to continue operating. So we are working on that, securing some operating area that they can conduct their drills and training and, where necessary, live firing appropriately.
The Ministry of Defense says the explosive ordnances have been turned over to police as evidence in a case they claim Penner trespassed on a military training area and removed items unlawfully. The Belize Defense Force is boosting its emergency response capacity, doubling its ambulance fleet and introducing its first ever X-ray machine and automated external defibrillator. The equipment was donated by Tonic Life Belize through businessman Isaac Furr. And officials say the new additions will not only serve soldiers but also residents in the Ladyville and Lords Bank communities. Today we spoke with Minister of National Defense Florencio Marin Jr., BDF Commandant Brigadier General Anthony Velasquez, and the donor himself about what they're calling a game changer for the force's healthcare capabilities.
It's a significant game changer for the health sector of our Belize Defense Force. As you know, now they can do their own x-rays. I was just getting a tour. It is fully equipped with everything. It's standalone. So the Belize Defense Force Hospital now can do its own x-rays. There's also the defibrillator for those. Let's hope we don't have to use it very much for those who suffer heart attack, and definitely an ambulance that will also be used within the surrounding areas. So it's not just for the BDF, but for the wider Ladyville and Lords Bank community.
Presently, the Belize Defense Force, we only have one functioning ambulance. So this will be a great, like a 50% exponential capacity building for us, right? And we have had several reasons to deploy ambulances. So the ability to have another one is a great game changer for us. The X-ray machine, we've never had one before, and we have always needed to send our soldiers for various injuries to get X-rayed.
Well, it started saving lives. Be there for the suffering people, and for that reason I get to know some of the BDF medics. It has been amazing being part of it. Today I had the equipment but not the professionals. So no, the BDF do have the professionals. Bringing those two things together, that makes one complete.
Isaac Fair is a businessman in the medical field who has previously operated out of Mexico. The Belize Defense Force says it undergoes a vetting process before accepting donations. Corazon Creek Technical High School is stepping into a new era with the completion of a $2 million school building designed to transform how students learn and grow. Backed by the government, the Belize Social Investment Fund, and international partners, the project is already opening doors, giving students from Corazon Creek and nearby communities access to a safer, more modern space to learn, dream, and succeed.
Today marks a major milestone for future education in our community. This building is more than concrete and classrooms. It is a symbol for hope, progress, opportunity, and strong belief that our young people deserve the very best foundation for their future. This new facility will provide a better learning environment, greater opportunities for academic and technical development.
This new facility was designed to significantly enhance the learning environment for students and teachers, while also expanding access to secondary and technical education. Importantly, this school serves not only for students of Corazon Creek, but also students from 16 surrounding buffer communities who will directly benefit from this investment. The scope of works of this project included the construction of 8 classroom spaces, office spaces, bathroom facilities for male and female students, as well as restroom facilities for male and female teachers, along with storage rooms located under the stairwells and a janitor's equipment storage room.
I will take this opportunity to congratulate you all who will be graduating, and most of you are here from the Ford Farm. Unfortunately, I believe the graduation is on June 7th, right? I will not be here. I have to attend the Caribbean Development Bank's annual meeting in Bahamas. Last year I was here and I enjoyed, but I can tell you that all your graduation fees have been paid, so you can tell your parents that you don't need to pay for it.
The building also includes an access ramp to ensure accessibility for people with disabilities, as well as classrooms and office furniture. Hundreds of Belizeans hit the road before sunrise on Saturday, turning the stretch from Ladyville to Belize City into a sea of neon for Cancer Walk 2026. Survivors, families, and supporters marched shoulder to shoulder under the theme Early Detection, Equal Access, End Cancer. But this year's event carried added weight. It comes amid growing concern over the Catholic Diocese's objection to the HPV vaccine in its schools, a vaccine widely seen as a key to preventing cervical cancer. Against that backdrop, the walk became more than an annual show of support. It stood as a powerful call for education, early screening, equal access to care, and stronger cancer prevention across the nation. Here are the sights and sounds from Cancer Walk 2026.
Did it again.
Up next, highlights of Weekend Sports with Paul Lopez.
KTV. I want only be. This is a moment. If you got the voice, the vibe, and the passion to live everything you've got on this stage. Mark your calendar and get camera ready. Auditions are June 6th and 7th. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At a Greater Belize, Leisure Studios and Tony Drive, Belize City. Hey. Selected contestants will enter the KTV Season 8 competition, and the lucky winner will go home with a 10,000 grand prize. This is your moment, are you
Sports Monday is brought to you by the National Sports Council of Belize.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Monday, brought to you by the National Sports Council. I am Paul Lopez. Tonight we shine the spotlight on an outstanding young talent making serious moves on the national stage. At just 17 years old, Estela Quinteros of EP York High School has already claimed her place as Belize's national female judo champion, breaking barriers and setting the pace in a sport dominated by men. At first glance, Estela Quinteros appears to be your average high schooler. But once she swaps her school uniform for her judogi and ties on her green belt, Quinteros transforms completely.
Due to social media, we see we have the clean girl aesthetic, and that's supposed to be all makeup and your nails done. In this sport, you can't have your nails done. You will end up with really damaged hair. You can't have your lashes done because they're gonna be ripped off.
At the Red Dragon Martial Arts Academy, Estela is preparing to defend her 2025 national title at the 2026 tournament.
It's mixed emotions. I haven't been training how I should be training for a competition.
Judo is a dynamic Japanese martial art and Olympic sport where the athletes use leverage, balance, and their opponent's own momentum against them to throw, pin, or submit them on the mat.
You have to be aggressive, you have to be aggressive. Because the championships training is over.
On competition day, Chief Instructor Leon Guild prepares his athlete inside the Swift Hall.
She is very competitive. Estela loves to compete, which is a very rare trait in young females. She absolutely loves to compete. She takes it very hard when she's not successful in her competitive endeavors.
Originally set for 3 matches, Quinteros ended up competing in 5 after a 3-way tie extended the bout lineup. And even after her victory in the final match, Quinteros consoled her opponent, who was overwhelmed with emotions. Ultimately, she successfully defended her title and remains the national female judo champion of Belize. Next, she prepares to walk across the stage as she is set to graduate high school in the coming weeks.
I want to represent Belize and get some medals and give it back to Belize.
And now for our weekly score highlight. In basketball, it's down to the wire, and this weekend's tournament could translate into big shifts across the league. On Friday, the defenders defeated the San Pedro Tiger Sharks 77 to 74 points. The Orange Walk Running Rebels crushed the Corozal Spartans 96 to 56 points. And the Dangriga Dream Ballers dominated the Bemopan Trojans 88 to 79 points. In football, Verdes FC is your 2026 Premier League champions. They defeated Progreso FC 3-2 on Saturday night and secured their 3rd consecutive title. The Belize Table Tennis Association held its 2nd ranking tournament for 2026 and published the results in 4 categories: Novice, Female Junior category, Open Junior category, and the Senior category. And finally, for tonight, it's settled. The Dream Ballers and the San Pedro Tiger Sharks will face off on Wednesday night during a rematch in Dangriga. League Commissioner Leroy Banner confirmed with News 5 that a statement with the league's letterhead declaring both teams will get 0 points did not originate from the league's office. Banner says that the league has always maintained that the match will be replayed. Well, folks, that's all we have for you in tonight's coverage of Sports Monday. Catch you in the next one.
Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, dollar vans will soon go up to $3. Sonia Singh commented, "I don't think those dollar vans need to raise their price because they run taxi too. They are making it. They also need to keep their vans clean for customers. My 2 cents. Turning to woman dies in motorcycle accident in Cayo, Anthony Hunter shared. It's observed that police units don't carry functioning breathalyzer testing equipment at all times. The fact that it isn't standard to test after a traffic collision is ridiculous." And finally, on Little Savers devastated after weekend break-in at Ladyville School, Brian Young Sr. shared. When a child is saving money to learn financial responsibility and that money is stolen, the impact can go far beyond just losing cash. A child may begin to distrust people around them. They may feel that their belongings are not secure, even at home or school. A child might think, why save it if someone can just take it? This can reduce motivation to practice good financial habits. Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.